Well, guys, I'm back with another update for you, and you will be surprised, maybe you won't even be shocked to hear that this port strike that's going on with the East Coast and the Gulf Coast is hugely going to affect the Biden administration. And that could be a problem. You know why? Bullshit! Because she running for president. Here's an article I'm going to refer to from the Washington Post, just in case you want to go read it yourself. President Joe Biden told reporters Tuesday that he would not use federal labor law to force the longshoremen back to work. And the White House has thus far focused public attention on the big profits of the international shipping lines that comprise the Maritime Alliance negotiating with workers. But whether or for how long the president will stick to this posture has become a source of speculation in Washington, as Democrats try to project economic stability ahead of the November election. Although the strike is in its initial stages and a deal could still be reached, Biden may soon face a difficult set of choices around his alliance to union workers and Democrats' need to win the November election. Disruptions to the economy could upset voters. You goddamn right! But Democrats are also counting on union turnout this fall. Vice President Kamala Harris, the Democrat nominee for president, has thus far directed requests for comment on the strike to the White House. So instead, the economic aide for President Bill Clinton, Bill Gaston, was like, I'll make a comment. He said this could end up being quite disruptive at a very sensitive moment for the campaign. The question of what Biden wants to do might be wrapped up with what would serve interests of the person who wants to be his successor. I'm sure he wants to do right by the union, but there are other interests at play, and right now, this is a game for all the marbles. Most analysts do not expect consumers to immediately feel the effects of the strike, which could buy the White House some time as talks continue. The overall impact to the nation's economy is likely to remain small. They said the same thing about COVID. Well, President Joe Biden actually did try to do something. Biden on Tuesday urged the port employers to produce an offer to the striking workers that includes a meaningful increase in their wages, citing dangerous work they did during the pandemic. He added in a subsequent statement, collective bargaining is the best way for workers to get the pay and benefits they deserve. Because during the pandemic, even though a lot of us was at home, not doing a motherfucking thing, port workers still had to show up to work every day working on the job, which is already a dangerous job in itself. And I did a video recently breaking down what the Taft-Hartley Act is, so if you want to know what that is, go back on my page and check that out. But the spokesperson for the White House said, we have not used Taft-Hartley and we aren't planning to. So if a deal doesn't get worked out, the strike is going to continue. I saw a comment on one of the videos I made that said ships were on the way and they were coming in. Well, check this out. Some of the strike's impact have been visible, with backlogs of ships anchored off major East Coast trade hubs. 14 major ports covered by union contract comprise over half of the country's cargo container trade, serving as a crucial node in supply chains that connect the United States to the global economy. I'd have been on that motherfucking ship like, so can I go home or I gotta sit on this motherfucker? Cause, know what I mean? So the pressure is starting to build on the Biden administration because election is right around the corner. We're only a few weeks away. So what will they do in the midst of the port strike that's going on right now with the East and Gulf Coast ports? If you make these people have to vote with an empty belly, you know who they're gonna vote for. As long as we tracking.